Hello and welcome to a new video of Sixers in 6. As you can see, I'm repping the Phillies today. They had a great weekend as well as the Sixers, so had to rep my other Philly squad today. So I wanted to review the first round matchup in 6 minutes if possible. Now, it's going to be tough because there's quite a lot to talk about. However, I think first thing we need to do is address the fact that Tobias Harris played up to his contract in this series, or kind of. So massive props to him. I think he did a really good job and made the Celtics, let's be honest, unless something freak happens on Tuesday night, now they won last night, they're going to probably be the team we play. They've got something else to think about now, because if they do double Embiid, we've proven that we can handle that with Harden, with Maxey, and with Harris being able to score. And then you've also got people like Melton throwing in his little bit as well off the bench. If they don't, and it's just Embiid straight up, he's going to eat. And then you like to think with the confidence that has been given to those other guys, they will feel confident in a one-on-one matchup themselves. So if they do straight up match us up, I'd like to think Harris will have that confidence to take some shots more often than he has done. And, I think Maxey's got a confident player anyway, and I think he will then continue his great form. So, you look at that first round series against the Nets. Yes, on paper, I'm going to say in the old format, they're probably a 7th or 8th seed. And we got very lucky. Oh, you can see I'm listening to 97.5, my favourite radio station. So you'd think actually there would be a 7th or 8th seed. So would we have got the first seed many other years? Yes, probably. Would they be a 7th or 8th seed in other years? Yeah, they probably would be. So I think it's probably a matchup that we would expect to have going into the season. Now, they're not elite, granted, but we showed that we got different ways we can win games. And that's going to make the Celtics think about something different in the second round. So if Maxey can continue what he's doing, which I do expect, and I know he hasn't had great performances against the Celtics, but he's got a bit more confidence going into this one. And I think having that bit more playoff experience as a starter and having games where you've been recognised for your performance is great. Harris, again, confidence is there, so let's see if he can ride that confidence. So I do think Harris, out of everyone, is particularly a confidence player. Harden played okay, didn't do great in some games, didn't do poor either. Game 2, I think he was poor, but other than that, he's been pretty solid. And the ejection game, he was having quite a solid game, barring a couple of turnovers in the first half. So I'm really optimistic about going into round 2 because of how we played in round 1. We did what we needed to do. We didn't make the series longer. Celtics are far superior to the Hawks, but they're going at least 5 games, and we're not. We've done it in form. We're ready for that next round, and we've got that rest, and we've got that time to prep. And I'm sure after last night, Rivers is probably going to be preparing for the Celtics in round 2 because they're 3-1 up, and look at their tape, and he'll be watching every game and breaking it down every game from last night and going into Tuesday night, and if there's another game, Thursday, Friday, that he can play, he can keep an eye on that. So I think the advantage is all in the Sixers. However, naturally, obviously, Celtics will have home court advantage going into the first 2 games. So I really do think we need to build on this confidence and perform like we have done and show multiple ways of winning like we have done against Nets. Doesn't matter that we're playing a better team. Still continue that and mix things up, because teams know what we're going to do. They know we want to feed Embiid, and that is going to work because Embiid is one of the most, or if not the most dominant player in the NBA right now, and he's a two-way player as well. Obviously he can defend. He's tweaked his knee and he's still come up big with a block right at the end of that game. And we do hope his injury is okay, and I'm glad that we didn't have to risk him against the Nets, because the Nets were playing him tough and they were trying to kind of injure him, not injure him intentionally, but like get tough with him, get rough with him, so that if he's got a niggle, he's thinking, I don't want to go out there and play. And they kind of did that to us. And I think we went very cautious with Embiid and was like, we're not going to play him. And I think Rivers is overselling it a little bit, or I certainly hope we are. I think the whole Philly, touch wood, are thinking that that's what's happening right now. But overall, it was a really good series win, and we need to take all of the positives out of it to go into the Celtics game. Now they've got a better wing player. Now wing player got the better of us in this in many ways. Whether we let him get his or not, but in Bridges, he did have a solid game. Obviously, going up against Tatum is going to be a much tougher assignment for us. So hopefully we can pick up some things and learn from that. Maybe get McDaniels on him off the bench, because I want the bench to be shortened. going into round 2, and Melton maybe guarding him as well. Because for me, off the bench now, this series kind of proved it. Melton probably going to be in the starting lineup a bit, mixing it up with Tucker, mixing it around. I think them two will flirt in and out of the lineups. But otherwise, you know, B-Ball Paul and McDaniels and whoever's not starting out of, you know, maybe Tucker and Melton off the bench. That's all I want really. So, you know, yes, I don't mind a bit of Niang if we need a bit of scoring here and there, and the matchups are there for it, you know. But otherwise, I really just want a 7-8 man rotation against Celtics, because Celtics are more of a team with better depth than us. So we need to use what we've seen against the Nets, and when we played against the Celtics in our win, and even in the losses, what went well, and use it. And I'm really confident. I think Doc had a really good series against the Nets, that he's going to do that in the second round. But thank you very much for the sweep, Nets. We appreciate the semi-competitive games that you gave us. We're ready for you, Boston, and we're going to beat you, hopefully, in 6 games, should you get through against the Hawks, which we all think you do. But, you know, we don't know. Anything can happen as of right now on Monday afternoon while I'm recording this. It takes a freak injury to Tatum or something like that to make the games prolonged. Just look at the Bucks. Without Giannis, they are struggling a little bit. So we can see what injuries do, and we certainly know that firsthand. So I don't want to pre-jinx it, although I'd love to jinx the Celtics, but let's see you in the second round, and we're going to beat you in 6 games. Once it's all confirmed, I'll do another video to confirm what I think the matchups are and what we're going to be, and I'll be listening to Doc during his press conferences during the week, and shoot around interviews to see what's going on, because that'll give me a better feel of where I think he's going to go with the rotations, because as much as I only want an 8-man rotation, he might still go 9 or 10, because he did that last year in round 2. Thanks for watching, and let's go Sixers. Ring the bell. Let's go Phillies. Go Birds. It's the draft week as well. Hopefully we get a running back at 10. Robinson's the one that everyone's talking about, so let's see if we go for him with all the rumours going around. So it's going to be a fun week in Philadelphia sports. We should enjoy it. I certainly am over here in England, 3,500 miles away. Thanks again. Speak to you soon.